Hold on. Just a second, fellas, so you can actually hear what Carl is saying. I don't have everything sitting here, but I guess because I had it selected prior to tonight, we'll try now. Go, Carl.
Good evening, ladies and...
Yes, you're good. Well, maybe we lost Carl in the middle of all that. So, good evening, race fans. We're here, another episode here at Charlotte Motor Speedway for Hold Your Brakes Academy. We're at the Charlotte Motor Speedway, 1.5 mile track here. I'll be out here for 85 laps, and got a lot of stuff to kind of put down right now. Like the field is underway for qualifying. 30 cars on docket here tonight. It's going to be underneath the lights. Nice, cool weather outside. Got 68 degrees outside. Track temperature even really cold there at 69 degrees. Should really help the drivers here maintain them tires. It's definitely a track that can be very burdensome on the drivers and maintain these tires for their stints. So looking to see how the day do here tonight as we get underway for the second race of the season. Carl?
Yes, I am here, and this is the Veterans Racer Remembrance in support of Operation Motorsport here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and certainly some great organizations, not just PinUpsForVets.com, the title sponsor for the season, but obviously the Veterans Racer Remembrance Operation Motorsport here is a big race sponsor as well, and you can scroll up in the chat and check out the links that were posted up there for donation links for the organization as well, and certainly check them out for everything that they do. But here tonight, it is race number 2. Last week we seen Timothy Presley get the win, and it was Old Atlanta, or I'm sorry, it was just Atlanta, not Old Atlanta, getting the start for the season. Here tonight, we're at Charlotte Motor Speedway, kind of the sister track, brother track, whatever you want to consider it here. Pretty much the same type of layout, a 1.5 mile D-shaped oval. And we'll see who's got the hot shoe here tonight. But we're also going to be looking for the hot paint out there as well. Myself and Jimmy will narrow it down to the top 4, and then about halfway through the race, we'll put up a vote, and we'll let the fans out there in Sierra Nation vote on who they think has the best paint scheme out there for the race. So definitely tune in and make your voices heard. But these drivers are done with their qualifying. Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown of that 30-car lineup here tonight?
Yeah, just wait for a few more seconds to pass as the results will post, but it does look like it might be a Jeremiah Crowd up on top here for the at that pole position. And yep, they're here to post the results just posted. We'll go ahead and bring those up for you all to see. And it is Jeremiah Crowell on top over Jake Raven, and then Tom Lanier and Tyler Reed will break up row number 2. Dylan Jacobs and Rob Higgs Jr. make up row number 3, with row number 4 consisting of Bryson Anderson and Joe Thomas. Robbie Minor out there in P number 8 with, P number 9 with Jarrett Martin in number 10. David Shively back there in 11th with Tiffany Ellis. In that 87 car in 12th. Timothy Presley and Drafty Beef will break up row number 7. David Chapman and Robert White occupy row number 8, and row number 9, Sean McLean with Robert Altman. And then the rest of it, you got more cars back here to the field. Row number 10, Joshua King and Kelly Atkins, Shane King and Jorge Ledesma. And row number 11, Tristan Miner, Andrew Jones back there in row number 12. Row number 13, Matt Ulmer and Jonathan Marsh. Jackson West and Jeremy Gill back there in row number 14. And then the rest of the field is going to be Cody Durkin with Don King. So 30 drivers on tap here tonight to take the field. You do see 3 drivers there with no time in. So hopefully they're able to join us here tonight and get out there and race with everybody. But look forward to seeing how all these drivers do here tonight. Is a very popular track. It's one of the ones that's on the docket when you start iRacing and you get to race here with the what car is that? The ARCA car? Yeah, the ARCA car. So definitely some street stock. Excuse me. Street stock. Street stocks, and you get the chance to get out here and begin your oval career here on iRacing with this track. So we're looking to see if these drivers have learned anything from maybe those past races and see what they got here tonight.
Yeah, we had 34 cars take the green flag at last week, and we see 9 different drivers lead a lap, with the most laps led being by your winner, Timothy Presley, but it certainly wasn't easy, and he had to work for it with Aaron Genske and Shane King finishing in second and third. But we'll see again who's got it here tonight as they are heading down the backstretch, and definitely a shout out to all the drivers out there. Good sized field. It's great when you can start any race with 30 cars, but now back to back, at least 30 cars in this session. We'll see if we get all 30 out there. Looks like we may. Looks like everybody out there, and certainly a shout out to Jeremy Gill. Hopefully he's feeling up to it, and yeah, he's doing okay out here tonight. He's certainly got dealing with some health issues, and hopefully he's going to be able to make the race here tonight and actually complete it. But we're getting ready for the first green flag. Barney is waving it. We are racing here at Charlotte.
Underway we go here, and Jeremiah getting out to a nice little jump there over his competitor Jack Raven as he falls to P number 3, and Tom Lanier moves up 1 spot into P number 2. So 2 drivers taking off from the get-go. And Carl, it's one of these racetracks that's pretty easy to get pretty confident early. Obviously, they want to get some heating them tires and really get them to stick, but not too much. You can see the 48 already getting loose down through 3 and 4 tags of wall. It's gonna
We're gonna have quite a bit.
Going to
as
come
this is
up with
a bit of a big one coming out of turn number 4. So quite a few cars getting involved in this one. Seeing the standings just shifting all over the place. We'll take a look at how this thing played out. I know the 48 got a little loose, and Lanier was able to capitalize. Not sure if he got the pass done in time. Looks like he is staying in front.
And of course, iRacing's not going to catch that. Or SDK, I should say. Let me see here. All right, let me see if I can catch what happened here. This is only on lap 1. And many things have happened here as the yellow flag flies.
While Jimmy looks for that, I will tell you that there are 2 drivers that have it looks like the 47 up there, Tyler Reed. The 14 there, hard into the outside wall is Rob Higgs, trying to get up there and avoid it. And you see the 47, maybe a little teammate on teammate action there. Nope. 218 and Joe Thomas breaks out of it, but the 8 of Jared Martin gets into the back of him, and that's kind of really where everything pops off. 2 drivers, looks like it is Tiffany Ellis and Robbie Miner, both with meatball flags here on the first lap, and had to, I'm not sure if they towed back to pit lane, but either way, they're going to have some required damage that they're going to have to get done already here. These drivers do have the faster pairs that they can use. I don't want to really use them too early if they don't have to, certainly, but here tonight they're going to have to use them plenty early, as you got to get that required damage fixed up, and we'll see if they can get back out there quickly. Looks like Robbie Miner has done so. Still waiting to see if Tiffany Ellis, not sure if she had to tow back to pit lane or not. Still sitting there with a meatball flag, and the one thing you don't want to have happen is you don't want to accidentally have that faster pair unchecked, and you get back to pit lane or you tow to pit lane. You're going to sit there. There's no way to click it on, and I feel like it's kind of something that iRacing should really take into account. If you have I don't want to say a glitch, but a way in the system that you can automatically fix your car right away, you should be able to click it on at any time. So if you get in there, there's situations where you don't know how much damage you have. It may just look cosmetic. You may think it's only 20 seconds worth of damage. All of a sudden you get in there and it's 2 minutes worth. I mean, that's a big difference. I mean, that's the difference between you getting that damage repaired while you're taking tires compared to going down 3-4 laps. And you should be able to, okay, never mind, I'm not going to sit here and fix it. I'm going to take the faster pair and use it. I mean, you have it there. You should be able to use it at any time. But that's just me, tooting another. I wish iRacing would fix this horn, as it looks like Tiffany Ellis still with that meatball in there. Looks like a penalty for Davis Shively. I'm guessing maybe going through an unsafe entry, maybe avoiding the wreck there. But we're going to get this thing back under green. It is now Tom Lanier at the front. Got Jeremiah Grau in second. Jake Raven, Dylan Jacobs, Jared Martin for your top 5. Tyler Reed, Robert Altman, Drafty Beef, Shane McLean, and David Chapman Jr. as the new top 10, since certainly shaking up the order here a little bit after that wreck.
Yeah, shaking things up just a little bit here, and obviously, it's one of those things that it kind of stinks when you start off like that. But yeah, I got a track map up for you all. SDK not using theirs tonight, so we're just gonna have to deal with the nice teal green of all the drivers out there from one of my other overlays assistants that I have while I'm racing myself. But better than nothing, so you can kind of see where everybody's at. They are the cars' numbers, not positions, on that will be shown up there if you can see them. And right now it is going to be that number of 99 leading the way here. Start things off here on lap, taking the flag to start lap number 5.
Little bunch ups here and there throughout the field, but it looks like everyone will get away. Certainly the 99 Tom Lanier getting away very well. Looks like Jake Raven's going to slide himself into second place underneath Jeremiah Growell, who's competing on the outside, but you see it bunched up here a little bit. Midfield, Jimmy, we got a battlefield already here, and I mean, I know it's back to our second green flag, and hopefully they can make it through lap 1 on this one. But it's quite a bit of cars. I know Charlotte is one that we talked about, that it's a beginner track, it's a free track, it's one that everybody goes to as a little bit of a car on the wall right there as well. Not sure who that is. Maybe Shane McClain, but we're gonna have another caution. And unfortunately, it's a track where you put 30 cars out there, and this is the kind of stuff that can happen. This, Hold Your Brakes Academy is a newer league, and built more for newer drivers, and doing a good job here holding the brakes under the wreck. But you will see some wrecks with all these cars out there.
Yeah, and this is obviously something that Tiffany Ellis is glad to see happen here. Is obviously went down a few laps. We'll go back here to kind of see what happened, and just looks like the 70 coming up. Not quite clear. They're getting involved. So Don King getting around there, and I'm not quite sure who that was. I think that was Jonathan Marsh. And then right there, you can see a 218 squeaking by, the 44 kind of getting involved, trying to stay down the apron, but just not enough to can't get it slowed down at the top of the screen. 9 nowhere to go. Slides it into the 70 as the 70 was in the brakes here early. So early carnage here for some of these drivers, and could become a very long one here tonight. There are only 7 laps in, 2 cautions already flown. So just obviously if you're out there listening, just take your time. Plenty of racing to go. Can win this thing in the first 15 laps. And then just kind of hit your mark and get them tires warmed up, feel that car out, feel what needs to be going on. And then one of the things is, Carl, sometimes when you're out there practicing, you can go around and around and around so many times, but until you really get some traffic, you really don't experience some of the things that you would during a race, like dirty air.
Yeah, absolutely. It's I've mentioned it so many times. It's great, and it's definitely worth it getting out there and practicing by yourself and learn the track, learn the car, learning what you can do, can't do. But you got to get out there to a race situation, whether it's getting out there and racing with UI or in official sessions, or maybe just getting together with a few other buddies and practicing a little bit of the track, because it is definitely needed. You're gonna drive different lines than you're used to just driving by yourself in practice, because yeah, you can practice those other lines, but when you're forced into that other line, whether it's in defense or in offense, you gotta try and figure out a way how to run it fast and not lose that much time, not wear off your tires. There's so much that goes into it. You want to get out there, you learn the track, learn the car, but then from there on out, you got to learn all the different ways to tackle that track. So we'll see certainly who has the upper hand when it comes to all the practicing out here tonight. Right now, Tom Lanier is your leader. Jake Raven in second. Jeremiah Grau, Dylan Jacobs, and Tyler Reed for your top 5, as should be getting the one to green at this next time by. While we have a chance, I want to give another shout out. Unfortunately, another not so kind shout out, unfortunately, to John Edwards and his family. Unfortunately, mother passing away recently. So shout out to the family from the Sierra Nation here, and hopefully our sympathy goes out to the family. It's never fun, and we've had quite a few times now that we've had racers, whether it's family members or close friends, that always like to watch them get out there and race. on CRN here, and it holds them near and dear to their hearts for sure. So shout out to John Edwards and his family. But we're going to get this thing back under green. It's going to be Tom Lanier that will be the first one to lead them to the green flag.
Tom Lanier out front here. We're all stacked up here, too wide, and looking good here so far. We're going to kind of take a different approach here. We're going to go to the cameras. We're going to run through just a kind of a bunch of different ones here, just kind of randomly for everybody, and hopefully that gives everybody a great show. If you don't quite like that or need some a little more focus on your favorite driver, don't be afraid to give them a shout out there in chat. And just like I always want to give everybody in the chat a shout out as to start from the top there: Barry, Anthony Strickland, Samantha, Zebra, Rena Bloom, Luna Moon, Samantha Miner, Barry, Anthony Strickland again, and Aaron Gensky. Just wishing everybody the best out there, and trying to have a great race. So these drivers will get settled down. I think they'll get a chance here to figure it out. Just like most races, sometimes they can start like this, and the next thing you know, their whole thing can go green. We can only hope the best for these drivers out here tonight for that to happen. So we're going to get things underway, and we will start for the third time here at the beginning of lap number 9. As this time Tom Lanier leads them off down to the inside in the turn number 1.
Good restart again from the front of the field. Excuse me. As the signal file it out here, and you kind of wonder what it's going to take to get these green flag laps, and you really need to stretch out. You really need to spread out the field here a little bit just to get some green flag laps in. I know you want to get out there as a racer. You want to get up there and battle. And you see the one there of Timothy Presley trying to go around the outside and work his way up through the field, but you got to have some patience as well. We got a long race out here tonight. You're looking at an 85 lap race, and we're only on lap number 11 right now, so plenty of racing yet to go. But want to thank everyone out there for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe. Get you in touch with everything that we have to offer here at CRN, as we're back to full throttle ourselves with 7 different series over 5 nights. So Sunday through Thursday right now, we are chock full of racing with the doubleheaders on Wednesday and Thursday nights. But right here, we are for the second race of the season for the Hold Your Brakes Academy, presented by PitUpsForVets.com.
Yeah, just everybody out there just doing a good job so far right now. Like I said, they just need to get a few laps underneath their belt, Carl. Them cold tires really can be a beast to kind of deal with. And you can see you're getting a small breakaway here from a few drivers. Looks like your top 6 are able to kind of spread out just a little bit before they get back to Robert Altman back there, and then number 94 Ninja Turtles machine. Doing a good job of starting this thing off here up towards the front. Timothy Presley really committing to that high side, Carl, and it really does take take some kahunas to get out there and make sure that you're not tagging that thing on a random basis, because you hit it one too many times, you snag yourself a meatball and bounce off into it. And so you know how those tires kind of like to go. But all the races I've ran here. Ooh, there's somebody. Who's that? Oh, I think that was Jarrett Martin, excuse me, down in the pit road. And a caution flag is going to fly. Oh, the 80's getting into it too. I think that's Jonathan Marsh. Let's see what happened here. Oh, just off the wall right there in front of Rob Hughes. Yeah, Marsh causing that one there. Just trying to just a little harder in the corner than a little too aggressive down to turn number 1.
And that's exactly what's going to happen here. And that's why I said, patience is a virtue, and you got to exercise patience here early on. You got plenty of racing yet to go. There's no sense of making any kind of crazy moves, certainly this early in the race. I know you want to try and make it up through there. Maybe you have some new tires compared to everybody else, but you got to exercise some patience and kind of let the race come to you a little bit. But it's hard to do that. It's hard to say that to the drivers out here. They want to get the race.
What are you talking about? What did this thing turn number 1?
It's easy for me to say up here in the booth. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we've been out there. I mean, we know how it gets. and to kind of go to the lines of this is, you got plenty of laps. You got 85 laps. We still have, 70 laps to go, which is still quite a long race. I mean, you get out there, you're looking at like 33-second laps. You're still going to be out there for, a good 30 minutes. So it's quite a while to run, around these tracks and the oval cars. The tire wear is just so much different than compared to the GT, like the GT cars. Me and Carl just got done running an endurance event over this past weekend, and we were in the car for 10 hours. If you go look at it like that, you can't go out there in the first 3 hours and just like dive bomb everybody. Like if you don't make that pass right this second, you're not going to be able to make it up. Consistency paid off for us this weekend, as we did finish in second place behind a few unique individuals.
There's no way to sugarcoat it. They were a sandbagging team that were way below the split that they should have been in.
Yeah.
Running times that they could have been competing in the top split, and they were down running with the little peons that we are down in our split.
I mean, to be truthful though, we were in the second split, so I mean there is that, but I mean their I ratings were lower than ours, and it's kind of. They're out there. We'll just put it that way. So, I mean, just people always, they want to rate. They keep their I rating low so they don't have to race those top guys and get a chance to win. They're all about the dubs. So, but we gave it our best. We were only one lap behind it when it came down to the end. So, I think overall...
and we can say why we were one lap behind, because we were 9 at one point, and then all of a sudden they started running at laps that were 30 seconds slower than their normal lap times to once again to keep their lower I rating and to keep any of the protesters away, saying that look at my average lap time, which is BS. Yeah. Not that I'm salty at all. I imagine
we could throw if we want to. I know you got a little bit of time to do so, to collect the information, because that same team also quit out from a previous race. Just were leading by a certain amount, and then they decided to just drop so they can even be in a lower split, because Chris Hamilton and Dave Tilford, their averages a little bit higher than the drivers that we had together, so they're even higher than last time and being up there, but sandbagging down to run with somebody to get that W. But it's not like you win any money. It's just you're out there for fun. So we had fun. It was a good time, and I'll do that again every single year. So CRN was victorious in my book, and a P2 and a 10-hour race is no easy feat. As some people just hope to get up to the podiums at times. So. But we're looking to get podiums finishers here tonight. Lights are off on the pace car. We're in turn number 3. Nice and easy, 2 wide pace car getting ready to come in. Tom Lanier and Jeremiah Grau up front. It looks like Jeremiah is going to lead this thing off here from the inside. So let's hope for another good start here, and let's get some green flag running in, as we got plenty of racing, and hope the fans to put on a great show here tonight.
Hopefully we can get some green flag laps in here, and maybe even see a green flag pit stop before this thing is over. As we've not seen too many drivers in the pits, maybe about half of them in the pits, probably all involved in a wreck one way or another, just trying to get some damage repair. But we're going to go back to green flag racing here. Some dancing around here, but looks like everybody's going to get away scot-free. And we'll head off down into turn number 1 more time, where Jeremiah Grau now your leader.
And Jeremiah getting that car out front. Started on the pole and had a little slip up there early on. Probably excited getting out there. And it's one thing to be fast, and it's another thing to be consistent and keep it going. And just getting a little excited, maybe little too quick on that throttle, just putting the rear end a little bit loose, and tagging the ball, ended up sending them back just a little bit. But getting that pink Zaxby's number 48 back out front here tonight. We also, me and Carlos, we're watching the race, and you see a paint scheme that you've kind of picking your eye. Will be about when we get to the halfway mark, we'll throw up our picks as we've been through the cars mostly here tonight, and then we'll focus on them a little bit more to kind of give you guys an idea of who's up for selection of best paint scheme for the evening. But right now, the car's kind of looks like maybe they've heard us, Carl. Maybe they're going single file just a little bit. Maybe a pep talk by some of the other drivers out there, is a lot of new drivers and got some veterans out there that help some of these drivers get around here at a pretty decent clip. So right now it's just patience, like they said, just kind of get things going, get them tires warmed up, settle in, and right as I'm talking, and we're gonna have another caution. We're getting about 5 laps in per run around here. It does look like Don King, Cody Durkin, and Davis Shibley are involved in this one. So we'll go back here and check to see what happened here from the sky. Looks like the 70 of Don King just in the wall there, and you got the 7 coming up, just not being able to go down far enough with the speed that was going on. And it is really hard to kind of get in the brakes and bring that car down then going out to the outside. So a car probably just got, when you hit the brakes, it tends to tighten up a little bit and push them up into the 70. And you see the 85 Chevrolet just trying to get by there. And let's see, let me pause this a second because somebody else was involved. Where's he at? Shibley.
David Shibley, the 85 is at the bottom. It's not him. Trying to see myself here. Who it might be.
It is the.
But
there he is.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, getting
and this
in.
Was, I think,
getting in the 3. Yeah, this is he was trying to avoid it and ended up getting into the 322 there of Cody Durkin. So, and that would be this one here. Oops, not that one. That's right there. Well, yeah, Cody Durkin just coming out of the pits. Trying to stay low. 85, no, we're trying to miss the spinning 70. Gets into the 22. 22 goes for 322 goes for a ride. Not too bad. Looks like unless he backs into the wall hard, it does look like he's able to get it stopped. Get them wheels turned around. Sitting there. It does look like he should be good. So another caution flies here in lap. That was lap 20. So a couple more laps here under caution as we get a chance to maybe I'll just run through the cars here and let you see what me and Carl get to choose from here.
Since we're getting all these cautions, actually, Jimmy, what I'm going to do is we'll have 3 different votes out here tonight. We're going to put up one vote right now, which is going to be the first 4 cars that we'll put up for a vote. We'll do one more with 4 cars around the halfway point. The top 2 from each of those will be in the third vote, the third and final vote to decide who is the best looking cars. So, Jimmy, I'll give you the rundown of the cars. The first one for the first poll here is going to be the 17 of Joshua King, as he is running the Majestic paint scheme. Trying to see where he is at to help you out here. There you go. Certainly pay no attention to the wrinkled in bumper, but that good looking paint scheme there in the gold and purple. The next one is the 22 of Tristan Miner, as he is running right in front of him.
Yep. That
is the Gravedigger number 22 for Tristan Miner. Third is the 53 of Robbie Miner, and at the Bazooka car that you liked, in a little throwback to your childhood there. And then last one for this first poll is going to be the 76 of Jackson West, and that the Heat Wave number 76. So some pretty good paint schemes. Good luck out there to all these first 4 drivers. We'll get 4 more drivers ready and geared up for the second vote here. But again, the top 2 here will advance to the finals here for the final vote here of the night. But either way, I want to thank all these drivers for putting some great paint schemes on here week in and week out. I know this week we're voting for the best paint scheme, but I mean, these drivers do a great job every week putting on some great paint schemes, whether it's ones that they design, ones that they paid other paint designers to do for them, or just pick their favorite one off of trading paints. I mean, somebody's got to do it. These paints aren't all just iRacing stock paint scheme. Somebody has put the hard work and the hours and the time into putting these beautiful paint schemes on here. But we're going to get ready to go back to racing here, and it is going to be Jeremiah Grau leading them back to the green flag. Again, the vote for this first round will be up until we hit lap 40, we'll say 43, just to make sure we're past halfway. And at that point, I'll get the second round of voting up and ready to go. But hopefully these drivers are ready to go green flag racing here for a little bit, and we'll shoot for that halfway point hopefully very soon.
Yeah, just kind of getting down. You just watching some of these drivers overhead, and you can see the different lines. Obviously, Charlotte's one of those tracks you can drive too wide around here. Multiple lines to drive from. Some areas being much more wider than others. Obviously, that area down the quad, that quad oval, can be kind of challenging for some drivers, as it does kind of like when you're coming up on a 2-lane bridge from 4 lanes. You got to kind of, it just seems get scrunched in there just a little bit, so it just feels a little weird in the car itself. But a lot of good driving going on up front right now. Jeremiah getting a nice little lead here. Does look like Dylan Jacobs putting some pressure on Tom Lanier there for P number 2, looking down to the inside. Timothy Presley and the number 1 looking to move to the front here as well, as he's looking right behind and following Tom on that outside. So maybe the top line is where it's at, as Tom was one of those cars that was kind of running that lane early on, and you could see him kind of hanging out there, and you can see the 5 really kind of pushing out there, and that's a tight area right there where they get close together. And then down into turn number 1, they do it again, but Tom just playing with that wall just a little bit here and there. A little scrape here, a little scrape there, but those things can add up quickly before you know it. Go back here, see what's going on. Got some action here back towards the battlefield, almost a 3 wide here with Tristan Miner on the outside. 44 backs off there of the Jorge Ledesma, of 75 of Jackson, or excuse me, 76 of Jack and West. Almost losing it, but catches it. A little bump there by 23, I think, to keep him in line.
Yeah, good little run here now, maybe starting to finally stretch out here a little bit and spread out through the field. You see the track map, certainly the Skittles, all the same color here tonight, as they are stretched out for a good portion of the track right now. Some of the drivers starting to fall back here a little bit, maybe got some damage left on those cars. Good to see quite a big size field out here still, and it looks like we got at least the 27, looks like 28 cars still vying for the win here tonight. Tiffany Ellis is back in action, had the damage earlier, and finally got back into the pits, got everything cleared up, and is back on the lead lap as well. We are here on lap number 29 of 85, and looking to have a good little green flag run. I want to see some green flag pit stops, because as much as we've seen some of the carnage on the track, we've certainly seen some carnage heading into the pits as well sometimes here at Charlotte.
Yeah, and it's it happens, and that's what we're talking about, and that's these drivers all are aware of the challenges of a lot of newer drivers out there on the track, and they do their best, and they get out there and they do practices. There's plenty of conversation in their Discord to remind them, and hopefully get out there and put some time in. But a track like Charlotte, sometimes if you've ran it a few times now, you might get a little more confident or overconfident. You see Timothy Presley still playing with the wall up there, able to keep it going, not losing too much momentum, still fighting for that second place, but giving Tom Lanier on that inside plenty of space. But Drafty Beef looking to move way up to the field as well. But right now, your biggest mover of the race, somebody where hopefully is feeling much better or gets better, is the number 4 of Jeremy Gill, working his way up 18 spots. Carl now in P number 10.
Yeah, certainly a good run so far for Gill, and hoping he is doing well out there. Certainly the car and the drive is doing well right now, so congrats to him so far through this thing, as we are now starting to click the laps away. Jeremiah Grau has got about a half a second lead over Timothy Presley, but Presley has got some company now, as him and Tom Lanier are doing some battling up at the front. And We'll see if Lanier can work his way back and try and get back up to the front of this thing. Led some of the early on laps here, but it's really been kind of Lanier and Grau leading the majority of the laps here so far tonight. Granted, quite a few of them have been under caution, but even when we get back green, it's been pretty good out here.
They're just trying to get in that throttle, getting a little anxious, trying to edge out Tom on that inside, and then just kind of holding, it's being stuck out there right now, and trying to make the outside work, get around Tom Lanier, but Tom Lanier able to hold the 99 down. He's been given Timothy Presley plenty of room out there, just has to be aware like where he's kind of at, because Tim's getting the run out of the corners out of 3, excuse me, out of 2 and out of 4 to make the run, but Tom Lanier checking up just a little bit here, going to allow some other cars to go down, and maybe an early pit stop here on lap number 34. We get word that roughly 27 to 28 laps under green, so we should be seeing some pit stops here, and and this is the part that it's going to pay off for some of those drivers that have been in already. And I'll go ahead and bring up the tower so you can see where your favorite driver's at and if they're in the pit lane. See Tiffany Ellis out there with a black flag, so hopefully that's nothing important, or maybe a false marker, but might be seeing that 87 bring it down. But the pit lane's starting to get busy. Grau, Presley, Jacobs, Beef, Altman, all down the pits along with Chapman. That's going to leave Jake Raven out there. So still some of the cars that haven't pit still out there. But then you look back, you look at Joe Thomas was in on lap 2. Jorge Ledesma was in 7. So able to put, they're going to be able to out there for a few more laps. And then you have Bryson Anderson back there in the number 7. Was in on lap number 21, Carl. And that's going to be huge, if a caution were to fly. It could trap a lot of drivers out one lap down here. As you can see them going a lap down all the way back to Timothy Presley, which was up there battling for, possibly the lead. Just now coming out of the pits, as a few of those drivers have gotten by so far. You see, looks like Bryson Anderson out there, so he'll have to go all the way around, get past Bryson, and and work their way forward. So some of these drivers that came in on lap 21, pretty smart move. Whether they were involved in an accident or not, they could play out there to their benefit. A few more drivers coming in. Gill, Jones, King now finally coming in. So Raven still out there. And making things happen, leading the way in that number 37.
Well, this is where it gets tough, because you had those drivers in kind of the quote-unquote pit stops under yellow, and they've already come in a couple times here. But now you have the drivers coming in now that have to come in because they're at the end of their fuel window. They stayed out there hoping maybe one more caution, and then they get the freshest tires in the field. But now they're going to be plenty far behind the drivers like Bryce Anderson, Sean McLean, Rob Higgs. Once everything settles back in here, Joe Thomas hit on lap number 2, so he's got maybe 1 or 2 more laps before he has to bring the 218 into the pits, and it'll shuffle to the 7 of Bryce Anderson as your leader. But so far of the cars that came into the pits here, it looks like Timothy Presley got out in front of Jeremiah Grau. They both pit on lap number 35. But Presley was able to get out in front. Tom Lanier just ran the fastest lap of the race, just not sneaking into the 29s just yet, 30.03. So very, very good lap there for Tom Lanier, as now Joe Thomas into pit lane, and we're going to get close to that halfway point. Still a few laps to go to get your votes in here for the first whose paint you got for tonight. Again, the top 2 will move on to the final vote here tonight, and we'll put another 4 out there once we get this poll done. So voting is certainly not done for this one, not done for the entire night either. So we're putting you boys and girls out there to work tonight, and you can't just watch this race. You got to put a little work in as well, and help us pick the best paint scheme out there. But right now, Sean McLean out there in the Stars and Stripes number 6, Rob Higgs in 2nd place. Bryce Anderson showing in 3rd, but he's in the pit lane here in the 7, so making maybe an early pit stop. Doesn't want to fall too far behind on the short pit from everybody else. And Timothy Presley, Jeremiah Grau for your current top 5, but Tom Lanier's going to slide in at 5th right now with Bryce Anderson in the pits. So Sean McLean is your leader by 7.3 seconds over Rob Higgs.
And Rob, a little bit of damage on the front right of his car as I see him going around right now. 88 going on the outside there, trying to make some time up. But obviously 14's going to, field those new drivers out there with the new tires. Start overtaking them and getting by. 3 wide right behind them, though. Jeremy Gill to the inside with Tiffany Ellis in the middle. 53 of Minor there as well, looking to get around. But you have, the other Minor back there in the grave digger. So, just trying to work their way through, not get involved here with anything as we're on lap 43 of 85.
And since we're on lap 43, we're going to close the first pole up here. Tristan Minor and Jackson West are going to move on to the finals here for tonight, and I'll work on getting another pole up here in a second, and we'll see who the final 4 of 8 here are going to be put up here. But it's been a good one here, a nice little run. Finally get some green flag pit stops, and we'll see how everything shakes out. We still got maybe a few more laps before we'll see Sean McLean and Rob Hicks come in. But Jimmy, we're halfway through this race, and hopefully it stays green, because I like the fact that there seems to be about 7 different pit strategies out here right now as it stands. Certainly McLean and Rob Higgs have 14 laps, older tires compared to everybody else, and we'll see if it plays out to their favor by the end of this thing, because it's still quite a few to go, but it's certainly some damage on the right front of that number 14 for Rob Higgs.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a decent spot right now to, benefit if a caution were to come. And obviously with the multiple cautions there early on, it was, pretty easy, just to stay out. You never know what's going to happen. I just seen Jonathan Marsh's circle light up in yellow. I mean, if there's some contact or something back there, but definitely is still keeping that number 80 going forward here tonight. I'm currently sitting back in Pete number 24. But yeah, Sean McLean leading the way here in the 6th with Rob Higgs Jr. Back there in 2nd, and then Timothy Presley trying to chase down Sean McLean and trying to make up that time. And this is kind of in that realm. They're down to about 40 laps. So if those cars that are out there right now, Sean McLean and Rob Higgs, if it's true that they can reach about 27 to 28 laps by themselves, that's what they need to shoot for. They're going to be shooting for, right around that, let's see, 55 would be 30, so you'd probably need about 58 to 50, lap 58, 59, so another 10 laps or so. And if I bring up this timing tower here, you can see, can they make it that far? Let's see, they're at 26 now, so probably not. Sean McLean coming in. That answers that.
Yeah, I mean, they may be able to make it further, but I think because of the other drivers coming in and being in so much earlier, they don't want to go too far behind with everyone else essentially being on a short pit compared to them.
Yeah, they should have been able to make it. They should have been able to make it to about lap 50. But still, they'd still be short to make it to the end of the race if they can only maximize 30 laps. So we've seen obviously with all the cautions that the drivers were able to come in at like lap 35 or so, but after a little bit of running, that was under caution. But right now, all the way back to 20 drivers back in the lead lap. It does look like Sean McLean is going to go a lap down, but will be that first car. He's coming out right now. It does look like Kelly Ackerman is going to get by. So he's got to catch up to Kelly, basically, in order to get back in that lucky dog position if a caution does come up. And here comes Rob Higgs.
We got our second round of paints here that we're going to put up for a vote. These will be up until lap 65, and Jimmy will get you to give a rundown to show all the fans out there. First one is going to be the man running in about to be 6th place, the 2 of Drafty Beef and his Royalty Motorsports number 2. Second, trying to get this going here. There we go. Next one is going to be the 5 of Dylan Jacobs right in front of him, and in the Valvoline number 5.
Good class.
The third one is going to be the 80 of Jonathan Marsh back in 23rd currently right now, with a good-looking paint scheme that shines under the lights here, certainly at Charlotte. And then the last one, can't leave out the number 94 of Robert Altman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles paint scheme currently running in 8th position. So that is your 4 drivers for the second round of voting here for the best paint of the night. Again, the top 2 from this one will join Tristan Miner and Jackson West for the final vote here tonight. Get your votes in now. The voting again will end for this one at the completion right around about lap 65, as long as I'm paying attention to it, and we'll get the final vote up there. But right now, paying attention to the race, we got Timothy Presley in the lead by about a half a second over Jeremiah Grau. Jake Raven, Tom Lanier, Dylan Jacobs, your top 5. Drafty Beef, Joshua King, Robert Altman, Jeremiah Gill, Jorge Ledesma for your top 10. And Jimmy, you know, we've said it many times before, look fast, go fast. Well, it's no surprise that, you know, of the 8 drivers that we put out voting here tonight, I mean, we got, you know, how many in the top 10? We got Dylan Jacobs up there, we got Drafty Beef, we got Joshua King. I mean, so many up there. Look fast, go fast. I mean, it's not just as easy as putting your pedal down and turning left or turning right if you're going on road courses. You got to look good doing it.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with looking good while you're, you know, out there on the track, and especially when you got all these wonderful fans out there. I mean, there's 24 people watching right now, and you know, it's good to have, you know, and it's not just, you know, the league or their friends and family. It's other people coming over from other leagues and stuff. Obviously, Fox Smella out there, Rachel Sullivan's out there, Stephen Harrison, Mike Casey just stopping in again, Stephen. You know, just obviously constant shout out to everybody that supports everybody out here for the you know, for these events that these drivers do. It's a small niche community, and you know the amount of people that we get come in here. I mean, we have over 1,500 you know, followers here on CRN. So I mean, if you're one of them that continues to come in each and every week, you know, feel free to drop a like and hit that thumbs up. And if you want to know when we go live and like just watching the race, or me and Carl talking up here in the booth about what's going on the track, you know, hit that bell, get that notification, and you know, it doesn't cost anything. So when they say subscribe, it's a free subscription, free. You know, there's no payments at all. Matter of fact, CRN will not go partner, so there is no commercial breaks during our broadcast. We don't want to interrupt a great accident or a finish by some pesky commercial. So we're gonna keep this channel unpartnered for the best viewing here for our fans. So if you can, just to show your love and support by you know, that like and follow.
But certainly, if you want to pay us just for the heck of it,
I mean, we can make. We can put. I think we can make. I think there's a way we can take donations. You know, there's some way to set it up. I'd have to look into it, but I've never asked anything of the fans. This here is just for fun, and we really like the support. Everybody coming out here and supporting their favorite driver.
Yeah, we ask you guys to vote out there. That's about the biggest thing that we do week out. And
we even give away gifts every now and then.
Exactly, we do, absolutely. As we got about 8 laps left before this voting here stops, and once again, it is the 2 of Drafty Beef, the 5 of Dylan Jacobs, the 80 of Jonathan Marsh, and the 94 of Robert Altman for this round of voting. Who you got for the best looking paint scheme out there? And certainly, like Jimmy said, we've got how many people watching? We got 24 people watching right now. Yeah. I see 5 votes. So hey. I mean, put your beverage down for a second. Put the popcorn down for a second. Grab that mouse. Click that vote. You know, or work your phone. Just give a good little tap and vote for your favorite driver.
We do have one person, Bryson Anderson, getting wrapped up here, but it's still keeping clean here. We'll go check out as Bryson Anderson in the 7 brings it down the pits. We'll see what happens here. And just coming off the corner there. Oh no, just coming in the pits. Oh.
No, not exactly, Jimmy. Not exactly.
That's not where to park the car.
Yeah, no.
Just missing the mark, and probably didn't want us to catch that. But I'm sorry, Bryson. That looked like one heck of a hit.
Yeah, that didn't look fun at all. And hopefully for for his sake, he's not in VR and he's not using a direct drive wheel.
Motion.
Motion, same thing, just
yeah,
anything.
Motion, some seatbelt tensioners. Can you imagine?
Well, either way, we're talking about all these great looking paint schemes. We haven't been talking about the lead. We got a new leader out there. We got Jake Raven in the 37, moving himself up to the front of this pack. Timothy Presley in second. Tom Lanier, Jeremiah Grau, and Dylan Jacobs now for your top 5, because I believe we had another pit stop. As I'm trying to look through the field, I'm not seeing where it was. But either way, we're down to the last 25 laps of this race. Still about 5 more laps, and then we'll get the final voting up there. Right now, Robert Altman, Jonathan Marsh leading this round of voting. But again, only the top 2 are going to make it through here. So we'll see who again is going to join Tristan Miner and Jackson West for the final voting. And certainly some great looking paint schemes across the board out here tonight. It's not easy picking 8 out of 30 here.
No.
I apologize. I wish YouTube would let me put up more than 4 at a time. It would certainly make my life easier. But we got some pit stops here, Jimmy, from the front, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th into the pits.
The 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the pits. They will have enough fuel for this time by, so I'm sure these drivers coming in right now are hoping that everybody that stays out there to try to stretch this thing, it stays green, so they don't end up a lap down and have to fight for that lucky dog position. But right now, Jake Raven's still keeping it out there. How far will he stay? He lost some of his competition as some of the other drivers have come in to maybe short pit him. But obviously some of these drivers that are going to stay out there are going to find themselves in that position here. So these drivers coming out now, Presley Lanier coming in at lap 62. You'd be looking for those coming up front, and you see other drivers now saying, oh, okay, I don't want to get short pitted on too much and lose what I already gained. So Jacobs, King, Beef, Altman, and Ulmer all in the pits right now to make that change here with tires and fuel to get enough to go the rest of the way. 37 of Raven is going to bring it in. Nice clean entry there for the 37. Looked like a nice solid pit entry, and hopefully he can nail this pit stop and get what he needs for the remaining part of this race here. So he brings it down there. You can see him working the pit lane road like you're supposed to. Stay to the outside till you get that call. Only go through 2 to 3 boxes max. And that's the way to do it there, ladies and gentlemen. A great pit stop there by number 37, getting things done here. That's going to put the number 44 out front here of Jorge Ledesma trying to get things done. And you can see a few other drivers working their way to 7 back out there after that bad pit entry. I'm sure it's not what he wanted to feel here tonight, but he did a great job, Carl. I mean, he hit that thing and immediately he took that thing to the pits with and had the tow. So maybe had a mistake, maybe won some laps down, but the humble yourself, put yourself in that situation and not ruin anybody else's race from this nice long green flag run is just something. As we talk about it, the 37 really getting wrapped up in that one. We're gonna get a caution. And I don't think the 37 that's what they wanted, but some of these drivers out there, this is what they wanted. This is what it was all about. And Presley, the only one on the lead lap, is going to trap a lot of people behind him.
Yeah, this is going to really, really shake things up here as we'll see how this whole thing plays out. But that is certainly opportune for some, not so much for others. And it's going to be within the final 20 laps of this race. We'll get the final vote up here in a second while we take a look at what transpired here for the incident. And, some of the leaders here getting involved.
Yeah, 37, just loose. We're going to go play that back here just a little bit. I just need to grab Jake here, see what happened here as he just came out of the pits. So go just a previous lap, or was he just come? Yeah, fresh tires is exactly what happened. They come out of the pits, fresh tires, trying to keep it down to the inside, trying to get on that throttle, maybe a little early. Sends the rear around. Tristan missing him, misses Timothy Presley and the 99 of Tom Lanier getting involved here. So yeah, just spinning the 99, 37 able to keep it straight, but definitely some damage as things in the yellow comes out. It does look like there wasn't many people involved, but pit road has to be busy here. We'll go back, show the tower. You can see everybody coming down in pit lane, especially your leaders. But the driver that's going to ruin it for a lot of others is going to be that number 1. Going to trap them a lap down, or a lot of drivers a lap down. And we'll see if anybody else gets by. But those drivers in the pits right now will just kind of make their way there and be in the top 10 or 11 with the rest of the field behind them. So good call there for the other drivers staying out. And that's, kind of the risk you take, but you have to try to stay out there, use as much fuel as possible. And sometimes if you hold out, somebody might make a mistake. This mistake was made, so the field gets jockeyed around. Right now you got Timothy Presley in the lead there with Jorge Ledesma, Joe Thomas, Robbie Minor, Shane King, Andrew Jones, Jeremiah Growell, Sean McLean, and Raven has managed to stay on the lead lap there, and Tom Lanier will be your drivers on the lead lap, along with, let's see, who else? Did I miss anybody? Let's see. Jacobs, yep, Jacobs.
Not showing as a lap down, but I think they're going to get the wave around.
Yeah, I think they're waiting to get the wave around. So I think all the way back to Robert Altman. So we're going to have 15 drivers on the lead lap. And then everybody else will have
in the
to
meantime,
battle.
We got the final vote up there, Jimmy. If we can give a run through the cars one more time for all the fans out there to get a good look at these cars. The 22 of Tristan Minor in 21st position right now, as he is once again in the grave digger number 22. Then we got Jackson West, as he looks like in the pits right now in 25th position. He is in the 76 Heat Wave machine. You got the Robert Altman, number 94. I was trying to see where he is. Not find the Turtles machine right now myself. Oh, there he is. 15th. There we go. As he goes by the pace car there, the 94 Robert Altman in the Turtles, and then the number 80 Jonathan Marsh, as he is in the 20th position right now, and the Assorted Nerdery number 80. So those are your final 4 here tonight. Who you got for the best looking paint scheme? Who you got for the win here tonight? Timothy Presley, Joe Thomas, Jorge Ledesma, Shane King, Robbie Minor for your top 5, Andrew Jones, Jake Raven, Sean McLean, Jeremiah Growell, and Tom Lanier for your top 10, as we're going to get this thing back underway. Less than 20 to go. We're coming back to the line here. It's going to be 16 laps to go.
16 laps to go as they make their way around the track here, and the pace car getting ready to come in here. They are doubled up coming out of turn number 4 around this quad area of the track as they go by and getting ready to go back to green. So go ahead and focus on these leaders here temporarily as they get started here. Back up here to Timothy Presley. Timothy Presley's going to get on the loud pedal and get a nice start here with 16 laps to go. So things are really boiling down here. Jorge Ledesma up to that high side trying to get that 44, a good run down the backstretch to secure his spot, but it does look like Robert Altman is involved in an incident back there. We'll check out what happened to him, but we're still going to stay green here momentarily. So good battling going on here. Got the 60 of Shane King working his way up there. Biggest wheel of the race right now is the number 44, Jorge Ledesma in P number 4. We'll go ahead and check out what happened to Robert Altman back here at the start, and just kind of a mess as everybody is banging around there. Jeremy Gill gets down there 94, unfortunately. Tags that front end of that 94, spins him down, and no caution to fly here, but which is weird. So multiple cars involved, and iRacing got that one wrong for sure. But right now we are green and underway here. Timothy Presley out to a nice little lead, about almost a second over Jorge Ledesma in the 44. Joe Thomas and the number 218 sitting there in P number 3, and Shane King as well. So just been pretty busy up here all night. Robbie Minor sitting in 5th. Sean McLean's up in 6th after after that staying out there for that long time and going a lap down. At least has found himself a good top 10 there. Andrew Jones there in the P number 3. And not P number 3, in the number 3, in 7th. And 8th is Jake Raven. Jeremiah back there in 9th. Dylan Jacobs in 10th.
And Timothy Presley trying to go back-to-back to start the season here, winning last week at Atlanta, trying to show that he's the man to beat on these D ovals, as this is going to get interesting here to the end, as it is a 1-second lead right now for Timothy Presley. Jorge Ledesma in second. Joe Thomas trying to get up there as well. The 218 of Joe Thomas. I will make sure I mention that. I'll just help myself, just to make sure I bring that in my mind here. The man behind the sponsorship here for PinUpsForVets.com, and it's been a big help. And he's as little as he's around, we still work with him so much. Obviously here, he is the one that brought CRN on with the Hold Your Brakes Academy. We obviously know him and met him through Core Racing, which is where he does his other racing with us and in our main league over there. And he's got runs a couple different series over there. But it's a pleasure, and he's a great man to know. But he's not exactly available that often, being out there with the race team that he drives the truck for the Random Vandals GT team. As the 69 there, Robert Altman bouncing off the wall, but looks like he's gonna collect it here. We keep it green, and Robert White, yes. What did I say? Robert Green? Robert
Altman.
Oh yeah, Robert Altman is, unfortunately, he's got a meatball, and he is in the pits right now getting service back there in 22nd. But we are 10 laps to go in this race, and we're coming back to the line with 9 laps to go. 2-second lead. I'm actually, no, wait. That's 2 seconds. No, sorry, looking at it wrong. 8-second lead right now for Timothy Presley over Jorge Ledesma. So Ledesma reeling him in here just a little by little, but he can't wait too long because these laps are ticking down.
Yeah, it's not a track it's super easy to pass. So you can really wear out your tires too. So Jorge is going to have to really, buckle down there and try to close that little bit of a gap that he has. And he's doing so. He's down to 0.5 now. So maybe Timothy Presley letting up just a little bit to get them tires cooled up just a little bit, because the battle is about to begin here shortly as these laps tick away. Only 8 laps to go out of the 85 that we were scheduled here tonight. Do have a couple green-white checkers in case something were to happen. Joe Thomas sitting in P number 3. I'm sure he's happy with that spot. Shane King up 17 spots, sitting in P number 4. That's a good run here tonight. And then Robbie Miner back there in 5th. So another good run there for Robbie. Jake Raven down a few spots from the start, but he was out leading and finds himself in P number 6. Sean McLean up 10 spots in 7th. Andrew Jones battling it out there. Does look like he's going to get around Sean McLean, take that 7th place away. And 9th is Dylan Jacobs in the 5. And 17th, Joshua King is for your top 10.
We are down to the final few laps here at Charlotte, wow. And it is a small lead now, but it's not for Timothy Presley. It is Jorge Ledesma Jr., your new leader. You see him now in front of the 1. He had 4-lap newer tires making it work, but right behind them, we got some even newer tires by 1 lap only, but still, it's a lap. And that is Joe Thomas to the inside now of Timothy Presley, wondering if Presley wore out his tires a little bit, trying to run away from this pack, and you see him bouncing off the wall. That's going to give the spot to Timothy Presley, and going to give the inside now to Shane King, who's going to move up into 3rd place. So it's a 3-car battle potentially here to the end of this thing. 5 laps to go. Who you got for the best paint scheme? You got Tristan Miner, Jackson West, Robert Altman, and Jonathan March. Who you got for the win right now? It's probably down to the top 3 as it stands. I'm not sure if Timothy Presley has any kind of rebuttal for the end of this thing. Jorge Ledesma trying to run away. He's about a half a second in front of Joe Thomas. Another half a second back to Shane King. It turned out to a good one here. It started off maybe a little bit rough around the edges here, but we've had a couple nice little green flag runs, and hopefully this thing stays green to the end, because this should be a good one, as you see Joe Thomas getting a little bit bigger in that mirror.
Yeah, looking off the back tail of here of Jorge Ledesma as we're watching Joe Thomas work a little bit lower line than Jorge, but trying to get the run here. Trying to use every bit of the track he can to give himself maybe that opportunity to get the win here, or at least finish great. So Joe Thomas getting things done here, up 6 spots for the night. And you can see Shane King back there again, had another good run this week for the 60. Especially having the start. I mean, you can just look at the first place. Obviously, took 21 spots, and just another big run there for the 44. Even if he gets overtaken by Joe Thomas, it'd still be a great finish here for the number 44. But I think he's gonna do some blocking here and play defensive just a little bit. Has to hold on for 2 more laps.
2 laps to go here at Charlotte. You see, trying to figure out which line he wants to go. Same thing with Joe Thomas off the corner on the backstretch, trying to figure out who is going to go where. Joe Thomas, a little bit of a deke to the outside. He goes to the inside, heading into turn number 3. It's going to be side by side, but Joe Thomas maybe clips the apron a little bit. He's going to slide up the track behind the 44. White flag in the air. 1.5 miles to go here at Charlotte. Another good run off the corner for Thomas. He's going to look to try and make a move into turn 1. Thought about the high side, but Ledesma blocks it, and then we had to back out of that one. Tries to turn it down the track, get a run. Meanwhile, Shane King right there trying to pick up the pieces. If anything happens here, that might have been the last chance for Joe Thomas. As here we go into turn number 3, and Jorge Ledesma out of turn number 4 is gonna hold off the field. He is gonna get the win here at Charlotte.
Yeah, nice, solid job of defending that position. Obviously, I'm sure he's sweating. I'm sure we'll hear it from the number 44 when he gets up here in the booth here tonight. But what a finish here early for only at the beginning of this season. Joe Thomas getting a great run and being in the right spot, the right time. Maybe not the most productive early on, but was there at the end, and that's what it's all about, surviving the incidents and making decisions in the pits to put yourself in the right spot at the right time at the end of this race. So great run for everybody. We'll go ahead and give a rundown of your running order here. Let me drop this ticker out of the way as we can show your drivers their final racing spots here for the night. So for the win here tonight at Charlotte, it's going to be Jorge Ledesma in the number 44 with Joe Thomas coming in second and Shane King in third. In fourth, it's going to be Jake Raven with Andrew Jones in fifth, Timothy Presley in the sixth, and Robbie Minor will finish back there in seventh. Sean McLean in eighth, Joshua King in ninth, Dylan Jacobs for your top 10. Then Jeremy Gill with a nice solid run coming from the back, finishing in 11th. Drafty Beef in 12th. Jeremiah Growell in 13th. Tom Lanier in 14th. David Chapman, Matt Ulmer, Robert White, Kelly Akron make up your top 8, your 18 drivers. We got a lot more to go here. We'll move to the rest of the field as the 19th driver is going to be Jonathan Marsh. And then Tyler Reed, we should speak to him here at the as well here tonight. And then Tiffany Ellis and Robert Altman, Tristan Miner, Jackson West, Rob Higgs, Bryson Anderson, Cody Durkin, Don King, Jarrett Martin, and Davis Shively make up your 30-car field. And Carl, I know we obviously overlooked with all the chatting and what night, but obviously just tonight was kind of brought to you by Tyler Reed back there in P20. For this event here tonight, bringing on the Operation Motorsport, and obviously if you scroll to the top of the chat, everybody, I put in all the links for the donation for honoring our heroes. It's basically an operation that Tyler is directly engaged with, and we'll get him up here to kind of talk a little bit more about that for everybody. The other links are for some tickets to attend the race. One is theveernow.com, and the other one, the org website, is operationmotorsport.org. So if you're looking to be involved or in that area where that event is happening, feel free to hop over there and support donating, honoring our heroes there. But we'll get a chance to talk to Tyler Reed here at the end here. We'll probably bring him in first, I would believe.
Yeah, try to see if I can find him in the chat.
Yeah,
We'll go ahead and yep. We'll go. Actually, he drug himself in there as I was trying to drag him in there. But
He's probably
yeah,
listening.
we'll go ahead and bring in Tyler Reed here, driver of the 47. Tyler, didn't get a chance to talk to you pre-race with all the festivities and everything going on here, but want to get a chance to talk to you about Operation Motorsports here real quick, and why you picked this race, why you like this track, and a little bit about Operation Motorsports.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the track's amazing. It's fast, tight, and I like it. It's challenging. But yeah, my name's Tyler Reed. I'm a program manager for the Operation Motorsports, eMotorsports side of the organization, which is, they provide, just a little background, they provide a unique initiative that kind of unites veterans and motorsport enthusiasts through high performance racing, career development, and community engagement. They leverage a thrill of motorsport, and all while doing it, we provide veterans with the opportunities to recover, build some skills, and have some meaningful connections. But yeah, no, it's an awesome organization. This year we've got an inaugural CrowdStrike Veterans Race Remembrance powered by AWS at the Virginia International Raceway. That's from November 7th to the 9th of this year. It's a USAC sanctioned event, features 12-hour multi-class endurance race. It's going to be challenging. It's going to be fun. We've got beneficiaries participating in that, all kinds of racers. It's going to be an interesting time, but no, it was a good race.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want to thank you for putting it on here and certainly being a part of the Veterans Race of Remembrance with Operation Motorsports. So before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Well, thank you to you guys, putting the broadcast on, obviously. Pinups for Vets for hosting this and sponsoring this specific race, and being such a good partner with these races throughout the season, and all the other sponsors that are putting up some nice prize packages for some of the winners. So yeah, and in Operation Motorsports, thank you for letting me be out here and representing.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you once again for being a part of it here, and hopefully we have to talk to you at some point throughout the season up here in the top 3.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That is the 47 of Tyler Reed, the man behind Operation Motorsports here and the sponsor of tonight's race. Want to bring one more up here. The one doesn't look like he's maybe ready for an interview yet, so we'll keep him down there for now. So we'll go ahead to our top 3. And first off, Jimmy is going to be the third place finisher of the 60s, Shane King.
Hey, Shane, Jimmy and Carl, open the booth. You got me.
Yeah, I got you, man. We're starting to make a habit of this. What's going on?
Do I need to put your name on one of these chairs up here?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Long season yet.
Definitely a long season.
Thanks to old Timmy Touch the Wall. That's what I call Timothy Presley now, because it seems like every race he runs that high line and it ends up biting him. So I call him Timmy Touch the Wall.
Timmy Touched the Wall. Well, you were there. The only reason Timmy gave you the spot, maybe because he touched the wall, but definitely you had to have that 60 up towards the front for most of the evening. Obviously, no league likes to have a race kind of begin the way it did, but you guys overcome those and you put on a nice green flag run there towards the end and some great battling for the win and for these final positions. So, we just wanted to say congratulations, man. It does take a lot to get out there, a lot of patience with a lot of newer drivers out there as everybody's learning and having fun out there. But to come away and just be just keep that patience down, put yourself in a position for a great finish, and here tonight at Charlotte as always can be challenging. So we want to say congratulations here at CRN like always, and give you some time for any shouts that you may have, or even if you got something else to share.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I totally blew qualifying, and I was starting back I think I started like 19th or 20th, and I was like, and then I had to use my fast repair after that wreck on lap 1, and I was like, this is going to be a long race. And so the fuel strategy worked out. That caution with only a couple of us that hadn't pitted really solidified the strategy and helped keep me up there, because then I could pit, get fresh tires, and stay up with the leaders. So that was awesome.
Yeah, it's always great to, have something fall your way for once, especially when it started off pretty bad. Like you said, using a faster pair on lap one is not what you like to do when you guys only have a couple to use. So, but either way, it worked out in your benefit. You're able to catch that caution at the right time and get a great finish here tonight. So, like we said, again, just want to say congratulations, man. It does take a lot to get out there and continue to have these great runs. We look forward to, whoever comes up here, but if you show up here every week, that's okay too. So again, congratulations, and we'll give you some time for any shout outs you might have on that number 60.
All right, man. First and foremost, I'd like to shout out John Edwards and his family. Our condolences from the league, from the HYBA league. We're sorry for your loss, and I hope to see you at the track soon, man. Get you and your family taken care of, and then come back and race with us. I'll keep a spot for you no matter what. I'd also like to thank pinupsforvets.com, primary sponsor of the league. Gives us this great broadcast that we all love watching. I think some of them are watching it during the race, and that might be why they're wrecking. But
well, they better be listening to us.
Yeah. So, but I always enjoy watching it afterwards. And then Majestic Promotional Branded and Apparel. If you got a sim racing team, if you got a business, they do it all. Check them out. Google their name. And SM Racing Products for sponsoring our Rookie of the Year competition. They're an awesome sim racing company, and I know the owners, and they're really good guys. And shout out to you guys for the broadcast, and shout out to Royalty Motorsports, the team I drive for. So 2 podiums in a row, guys. I don't know what I'm going to do after this. I guess I got to get to victory lane.
You need to work your way to that very first part. That's your next goal. But keep these podiums going, as it can be a benefactor there for your a series championship. We've seen people win a championship without even winning a race. So keep that consistency going there, brother. And again, congratulations, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Yes, sir.
Is your third place finisher here tonight, the 60 of Shane Gang. Second place here tonight, and did just about everything he could to get up to that top spot, is going to be the 218 of Joe Thomas. Joe, heck of a run for you here tonight, and it's amazing what happens when you get out here in consecutive weeks and get that 218 out here. You had a chance at the win there. Do you feel like it may have been lost in turn one there, where you had to kind of back out of it a little bit when you were behind Jorge?
Yeah, I feel my Jorge had what I'm sure he lost his right front, and we talked about this in the interview room. I'm sure he was losing his right front and drifting up towards the wall. He had to hit his brakes, and I was dumb enough to run right behind him and had to check up myself and lose all my momentum. And then I tried to it just killed it for the rest of the lap, and I tried the outside in move and just didn't have enough of a run.
I mean, it was still a heck of an effort, and he got up there. He had some of the fresher tires in the field to try and get up there and make the pass there at the end. He got around Timothy Presley pretty quickly. I'm sure that helped give you a chance. At what point did you think, this is maybe in the cards for me tonight?
About when the yellow came out, and I still had 2 laps on my fuel and was able to get fresh tires with 15 or 16 to go, and that's when I was like, all right, everything. And then we sorted everything out during the yellow and getting lined back up, and I'm still in third. This is awesome. So I was hoping that who P1 was had a good start so I could follow him through, and it worked out just fine.
Yeah, absolutely, it did. Well, you get a second place here tonight. I know, runner up maybe is sometimes leaves a bad taste in your mouth, but it was a good race for you overall. You survived here through the carnage in the early parts of the race, and you get yourself up there with a chance of the win. But either way, a podium, you get to talk to us. So congrats on the finish here tonight. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, this is definitely my highest official result for Hold Your Brakes Academy. I have an unofficial win preseason of season 3, but as usual, Pinups for Vets, for the season sponsor, Majestic, and SM Racing Products for contingency and rookie of the year. And tonight, definitely Operation Motorsport. For everybody listening, go to operationmotorsport.com and check out and virnow.com/Operation Motorsport for tickets to the VIR race on November 7th to the 9th. Tickets are cheap. For active duty, it's free. And yeah, that's it.
All right, buddy. Well, once again, congrats on the second place here tonight. We'll let you go celebrate, and hopefully we get to talk to you a little bit more up here this week, this season.
Oh, as the title sponsor, it's almost an automatic, but I definitely hope to get more podiums.
Or an earned one, not a paid entry, an earned entry up here into the booth. All right, that is your second place finisher here tonight, the 218 of Joe Thomas. Top spot here tonight is going to go to the 44 of Jorge Ledesma Jr.
Jorge, Jimmy Carlton, the booth. Do you copy?
Yes, I do, guys.
Hey, man, you get it done. Right spot, right time, right strategy lands you the victory here tonight at Charlotte after 85 laps. Definitely an interesting race. Give us a rundown on how everything kind of began for you and how you found yourself in that spot defending off the number 218 of Joe Thomas.
It's kind of like the last time for me. It's kind of like a throwback to last season when I ran second here. Poor qualifying, I messed it up and started in the back, so I just wanted to be able to pit a little bit later than everybody, which I was able to. And I knew Timmy had pitted a few laps earlier, so I knew his tires were going to eventually fall off because the fall off is tremendous. So I knew once I could get around him, I should be all right, and I just had to basically defend. Joe was coming with a huge head of steam, and honestly, if we probably had maybe one more lap, he probably would have got me, but tough race, great race, and I'm very happy to come away with a win.
Yeah, definitely. It was, interesting at the beginning, when somebody, some newer drivers maybe just getting used to the car, getting ready, used to the setup, the night race, the cooler weather, and then that tire going away like you talked about. But you did a fantastic job executing your strategy and putting yourself in a position to walk away a winner here tonight. So from CRN and everybody else out there, we want to say congratulations and also give you some time for any shout outs you may have on that number 44.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Definitely you guys put on a hell of a broadcast. I'm always watching, enjoy watching it. I also got to thank, Shane for putting on this league, Joe Thomas with Pinups for Vets, Operation Motorsports for sponsoring this race. The other sponsors that we have, SM Racing Products, as well as Majestic Branded Apparel coming on board to sponsor the league. And then I got a shout out the guys from Minor Motorsports. They've been very helpful, and they're a great bunch of guys. And then my own team, Revved Up Racing, with all of them over there, and our sponsors, Victory Fuel, the No Names, Fours by Dennis, Circle W Farms, Corn Dog Designs. Thank them all, and then RJ Brain Ride, just like guys, and hopefully you enjoyed the show tonight.
It definitely was one to watch, especially for the end, as you fended off that number 218 for that victory. So, again, congratulations on the win here at Charlotte, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Yes, sir.
That is your winner here tonight, the 44 of Jorge Ledesma Jr. We got one more that we got to get in here, and it is the man behind the wheel of the 76, the one with the hottest paint scheme out there. That is Jackson West. Jackson, congrats on the fan-voted best paint scheme of the race here tonight. So I guess tell us about your race out there first, and then we'll kind of get to the details here of your paint scheme.
I appreciate it. I'd rather not talk about my race by and large. I came into the week.
We'll get that out of the way first.
Yeah. I come into the week knowing Charlotte's a really weak track for me, and but I want to come in and put in a good effort. Appreciate Pinups for Vets and Majestic Promo and Branded Apparel and SM Racing Products and Operation Motorsport putting it on for us tonight. It's definitely a fun time to come out here and run. So, you put your best foot forward, and sometimes you still end up 10 laps down because you can't enter the pits. So.
Well, it happens. It happens to the best of us, unfortunately, at times. But listen, I mean, you click the first box, and that's look fast. You just didn't, unfortunately, go fast here tonight, but you looked good out there in that heat wave number 76. So, talk to us about the paint scheme and what brought this to the light here. It certainly was a fan favorite out there.
Sure. Yeah. If you're gonna be in the back, at least look good doing it, right? No. Sorry, I'm just trying to get the car where I could see it. Yeah, I've used HeatWave in real life at work and stuff. So I always go when I'm painting a car by, if I'm going to put a title sponsor on it, it's who I've spent the most money with. I consider that a sponsorship at this point. So if you got a big Mozo on the trunk there and different things like that. But yeah, I really like the HeatWave when I run that because I feel like I get a chance to be pretty creative because it's kind of open-ended. So this particular scheme is kind of a conversion from when I used to paint on NASCAR Heat 5 and had a little bit more of a wild thing going on. I had some purple on the top instead of black, but after last week, I felt like I could have had a better race than I did. So I went with the theme was kind of scorched earth here. So we went for kind of like the sunset type of situation, but maybe not so much sunset. I wanted to make it look a little bit angrier. So got kind of like the solar flare, the blackout on top with the gradiented number, because I always like to run a different number on top color wise, and I feel like that makes the car pop. And then the fade on the car, the fade was the hardest part to line up by far. I'm still learning how to paint on iRacing, but yeah, then threw some palm trees and gave it kind of a desert vibe, I guess. It's a little bit of a mix of some things, but yeah, I was really happy with how it turned out. Orange is my favorite color, so I had to run it.
Yes.
Certainly, I was going to say it's my co-commentator's favorite color out there as well. So I'm surprised that this one didn't jump out at him right away to get into the voting. But it was definitely a good one out there, and like I said, the fans certainly enjoyed it as well. So congrats on getting the best paint scheme. Maybe we'll work on getting the results next week, and maybe we look fast and go fast next week. But before we let you go and get out of here, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Yeah, just want to give a shout out again to pinupsforvets.com, Majestic Promo and Branded, SM Racing Products, and then Operation Motorsport for the sponsoring the race tonight. And yeah, shout out Mid-Tier Racing, the team. They've been doing great, helping me figure out the finer details of getting around the track. Obviously here tonight, I was hard-headed and not too much of it sank in, but appreciate the group over there. Yeah. Putting on some good races. Looking forward to Vegas next week.
Well, certainly the fans got you the best, the most votes out there for the best paint scheme, but certainly giving you some shots about the pen entries here tonight. So, especially from Austin,
Deserve.
Well,
you gotta own your mistakes.
Exactly. Congrats again. Hopefully, we'll get to talk to you at some point the rest of this season with a good finish here. But take some time, enjoy this, and celebrate the best looking paint scheme out there.
All right, fellas. Appreciate the fans. We'll see you all next week. Thanks.
That is the driver of the 76, the Heat Wave at number 76, and a really good looking paint scheme out there. So I want to thank Jackson for the great paint scheme out there. I want to thank all the fans for getting involved in the voting out there. And if you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe and get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. That is going to do it for us here on Monday night. We got the Core Xfinity Series presented by Kim's Cups and More coming up tomorrow night. Then we got the doubleheader on Wednesday and the doubleheader on Thursday. So plenty of racing action left in this week. But for myself and Jimmy from the Charlotte Motor Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.